Good morning, everyone. My name is Débora Nascimento, and I want to start by expressing my gratitude for your presence here. Today, I will present my dissertation titled Corruption Risk Management and SDG 16 Socially Responsible Practices in Financial Institutions. Before I begin my presentation, I would like to take a moment to express my gratitude to everyone who helped me throughout this process, and I want to thank God for giving me strength throughout my master thesis journey. A special thank you to my supervisor, Professor Afshin. I will present you our agenda for today, which I want to cover. In brief, the topics I will go through mirror those in my dissertation. We will start with the why of the study, which addresses the motivation. Then we will move on to the how, which addresses the method. And finally, we will discuss the what, which includes results, limitations, and direction for future research. Let's start by addressing the why of the study. Corruption has become firmly established as one of the major obstacles to economic development worldwide. This may result in financial fraud and resource misallocation, both of which may jeopardize financial stability. Corruption risk management is a clear strategy to prevent and deal with corruption. It involves practical steps like evaluating project risks and using financial checklists to ensure that everything is in order. Examining this aim allows institutions to identify possible dangers, weaknesses, and reinforce their safeguard against these threats. Sustainable Development Goal 16 of the United Nations addresses corruption partially, intending to promote peace, justice, and strong institutions. By targeting corruption, this research specifically advances SDG 16.5, which seeks to significantly reduce corruption and bribery in all forms. Initially, I observed that much of the literature linking risk and sustainability focuses on climate, life on land, and clean resources usage. However, my objective was to take a different approach by showing that SDG 16 can also be strongly related to sustainability and risk management in finance. To explore this, I conducted an extensive literature review focusing on core four areas: corruption risk management, social responsibility, sustainable financial practices, and UN Sustainable Development Goal itself. This review led me to a key conclusion. Corruption risk management plays a critical role in financial institutions and directly connected achieving SDG 16 by promoting a peaceful and inclusive society. My research truly examined the complex nature of corruption by identifying economic, political, and cultural factors as its main drivers. Furthermore, I explored the social responsibility aspect of managing corruption risk, emphasizing its impact on promoting economic growth, protecting vulnerable populations, and fostering equality and trust. Finally, my study highlights the importance of incorporating sustainable financial practices such as transparency, accountability, governance, environmental and social responsibility. Together, these elements enhance financial institutions' ability to manage risk while contributing to a broader sustainable goal. Thus, following the conducted literature review and the mentioned research gap, the main goal of our study is to answer the following question, that is, how do corruption risk management strategies contribute to UN SDG 16? With this, we move on now to the how. To gain a deep understanding of the topic, I applied a mixed method approach, blending both qualitative and quantitative methods, providing a comprehensive analysis to contribute to the broader discussion. Interviews with relevant expertise were selected, and the questions were based on literature review, focusing on key latent variables such as risk management, transparency and accountability, social responsibility, and my own research question. This is an observational and exploratory study aimed at identifying relationship between variables for data collection. I use Refinitiv icon, which is a comprehensive financial data platform to ensure robust and reliable data for analysis. The dataset of temporal scope, which included years 2019 to 2023. The selection of countries for analysis was deliberated, focuses on Angola and Portugal. These countries were chosen due to my familiarity with their respective socio-economic landscapes and their contrasting positions in terms of corruption indices. I used SPSS AMOS to work with data to build and examine the structural equational model to investigate the causal links between latent variable and observable variables. A significant relationship between the latent constructs of accountability, social responsibility, transparency, and the monopoly indicators were found by analyzing the structural equational model. These findings provided a clarity on how anti-corruption strategies affect the crucial dimensions and how they affect SDG 16. Let's now proceed to examine the results we were able to obtain. First of all, the estimated likelihood. A significant relationship between latent constructs, accountability, social responsibility, transparency, and monopoly indicators were found by analyzing the structural equational model. These findings provided clarity on how anti-corruption strategies affect these results, crucial dimensions, and how they affect SDG 16. Secondly, the square multiple correlation in the regression model. The statistics represent the percentage of variance that one variable can predict from another. This analysis of a structural equational model indicates significant relationship between the latent variables. For the model fitnesses, the unstandardized coefficient shows a perfect positive association between social responsibility and transparency. Nevertheless, because of the model fit, this should be interpreted cautiously because the model has residuals that are not explained nor observed in the model. Nevertheless, this must take this relationship carefully because statistical correlation does not prove causation. For qualitative insights, there are three key takeaways from the interviews written in a more natural and conversational style. First, there are challenges. Challenges in addressing corruption because financial institutions in Angola face several obstacles by tackling corruption risk, such as difficulty with data sharing, political interference, lack of independence in compliance functions, the insufficient protection for whistleblowers. These issues make it harder for this institution to manage corruption efficiently and effectively. Second, the role of technology. Financial institutions are starting to use technology like AML and CTF systems to monitor suspicious transactions and improve transparency. This is an important step toward fighting financial crime and corruption, as these tools help to detect potential risks and more efficiently. Lastly, strong institutions are key. The interviews also highlighted that strong institutions are those that can defend and manage their data without external interference, are crucial in reducing corruption by strengthening accountability and transparency. This institution can better contribute to the goal of the SDG 16. Finally, the integration of quantitative and qualitative findings. Using both of them, quantitative and qualitative data, allow me to better understand research topic. The quantitative data provided me a broad picture, while the qualitative data added depth by offering real-life examples and personal insights. Together, they help me to capture and allow for a more comprehensive understanding of the research topic. When examining the results we've achieved, it's crucial to always consider the constraints the study faces, which in certain instances could pave the way for future research. My research question is, how do corruption risk management strategy contribute to SDG 16? The findings from the model show that anti-corruption strategy directly influence key areas like accountability, social responsibility, transparency, and monopoly indicators. By understanding how these elements interact, we can better address SDG 16, which focuses on significantly reducing corruption and bribery. The takeaway is that by enhancing accountability, encouraging social responsibility, and ensuring transparency, and by the way, tackling monopolistic practices, both policymakers and organizations can play a critical role in achieving SDG 16 and advancing their broader goals of sustainable development. The study limitations in 5 key points are data limitation, because limited availability of reliable and comprehensive data on corruption across different countries and periods, measures the challenges due to corruption clandestinity nature, and varying definitions make it difficult to measure and quantify accurately. The potential biases in the selection of empirical studies and the may introduce biases that influence overall findings. And for methodological issues, there is a possibility of omitted variable biases or endogeneity in the empirical studies that could affect causal interpretation. And lastly, the temporal influence. The model's outcomes and certain variables may influence their past values by affecting the current results. Some ideas for future research can be that we can improve accountability and transparency by investigating how these technologies reduce human intervention and increase traceability, improving accountability, transparency, and social responsibility. Another one could be by addressing data challenges, assess how digital tools can overcome data limitation and measure difficulties by providing more reliable and real-time data for monitoring corruption.